Hello and welcome to the Etoft21sports Show for June 6th. How is everyone doing? My name is Eric. I am the man behind Etoft21sports. We have an absolute phenomenal show lined up for you today. Leo, aka the Gutsy Greek from Twitter, he's this week's guest. We're going to tell you some French Open bets, Stanley Cup final bets, and also some NBA Finals bets. Plus, Gino will have his horse racing bet of the day from Belmont Park for this Friday. Those watching on Twitch, if you could please hit that follow button, it would help me out. Those watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. That one helps me out. Before we jump in, see what Gino has cooking for us, I would like to say thank you to the sponsor of the show, the Sharps betting app. If you are using Sharps, you are insanely missing out. Great app, allows you to track your bets, interact with other gamblers. You can fail, you can tail. The thing I like the most is it connects right to your sportsbook. So we all have these apps where we have to punch, choose in, do everything. It's just way more time efficient. You can just connect to your sportsbook and boom, your bet is tracked. If you aren't using it, please go to the App Store, download the Sharps betting app, use promo code ETOF499. That way they know old Uncle Rico sent you. If you're watching on YouTube, the link to the app is in the description. Now, without further ado, let's see what my boy Gino has cooking for us over at Belmont Park.
Big week coming up at Belmont Park. So let's go to Friday for our play for this week. I'll actually give out a play for the Belmont on Eric's show later this week on the Friday show. So if you want to help with the Belmont race, just wait till a little later on in the week. Let's talk about Friday first so we can make some money to play on Saturday. I'm looking at drf.com. That's the place to go anytime you need any help. Past performances. If you need to make a wager, DRF Bets is the place to go to make a wager. For me, race number 10 at Belmont on Friday, and we're going to go all the way towards the outside. I'm looking at the Gray Wizard in here. He's the number 13. This is a pretty lightly raced 4-year-old now, and if you look at his overall career, he hasn't done a whole lot wrong. He's just a distance horse. They're actually going 2 miles in this race, so he's never even been 2 miles. The farthest he's gone is the 1.5 miles, but distance is no problem for him. He's a deeper closer, doesn't really get going and doesn't even really get his motor revving till late in the race. But if you look at this field for this type of a race, it actually looks like there's a good amount of early speed signed on. You have a couple horses who just have one way to go. I think Tartini will be forwardly placed, but we are pretty sure that you're going to see Strong Tide, Sit Close, Tide of the Sea, always wants to be right on the lead, and Channel Maker wants to be very close too. So with those horses and the possibility of 1 or 2 more, it should set up nicely for a deep closer. 2's the horse to beat, Siskiny, but I think to the outside, we look to the Wizard, the Gray Wizard, the number 13, for the horse to bet. Good luck this weekend.
Please make sure you give my boy Gino a follow at It's Me, Gino B. He's going to be on my podcast, which comes out later on Friday evening, and we're going to be breaking down the Belmont card for Saturday. Now, without further ado, let's welcome the man returning to the stream after a long break, Leo, aka the Gutsy Greek. Leo, how you doing today, my man?
What's up, buddy? I missed that beautiful face, Uncle Rico.
Oh, dude, it's been a while, man. It's been a while.
It's definitely been a minute. You still got the same Lions hat on, dude. Come on, man.
Dude, I'm a very simple guy, dude. I have my Lions hat, my Tigers hat, another Tigers hat, a Brewers hat, and my old school Red Wings hat, which is kind of morphed into only a workout hat. So, I mean, that's my hat game right now.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Red Wings hat. I feel you when it comes to, like, the workout hat. I accidentally turned one of my hats into a workout hat, and I regret it because it is my favorite hat. It's very unfortunate.
Now, look at this, dude. Cool Kev giving you some love in the chat room. Cool Kev, what is up, my friend? Dude, I have to tell you, sometimes you hit a bet and it just hits. The Struce was loose. Nice call on those overs. Struce was loose. That plus 500 hit was awesome. Plus the Martin under 15.4 points per game was awesome. Yes, I had Struce 4 threes at 5-2-1. the other day, which is absolutely a phenomenal hit. Now, obviously, I want to talk some NBA with you because you are a Celtics fan. As a fan, scale of 1 through 10, how would you rate this season?
Solid 3. It's no more than a 3. Listen, the team that they built was built to win a championship. That was the best team on paper by far. There were no holes on that team. Okay? The biggest hole was the fact that star number 2 that thinks he's the man forgot to show up. Where were you, dude? I love getting on Tatum. I'm the number 1 Jason Tatum guy. He was trash for a decent part of a couple series. But the fact that Jaylen Brown just completely no-shows, can't hit a shot. Oh, does his hand hurt? Oh, does his ass hurt? He's not playing defense. He's falling asleep. Jaylen Brown was the biggest problem. This season's a 3. This team is built to win a championship. They did not do it. Now it's time to answer some questions. It may be time to rebuild everything. That's the point that we're at.
Should they make a coaching change?
Oh, yeah. They should have made a coaching change mid-playoff run. Okay, Joe Mazzulla has no relative clue what he's doing. He should not be coaching high school basketball. Never mind the best team in the NBA. That guy, and all you need to do, just watch a press conference of his. Joe, how did you get prepared for game 3? I met 3 kids with cancer. Like, what? How about watching film, asshole? How about learning how to call a set? That'd be cool. Like, I get it, dude. Nice gesture. Very nice. I'm not taking a shot at the kids, but like, yo, you're the coach of the Celtics, dude. Charity's real nice, but you do charity in the summer. All right, bro. You're here to win a championship. Get your head out of your ass and put your eyes back in your head, please.
Now, they brought in Sam Cassell to be an assistant coach. I've always been kind of perplexed why Cassell has not got any run as a head coach in the league yet. I think that's a good hire. I think he's going to be able to help Mazzulla through some of those times that he's experienced as a player and as a coach. Do you think it could be a situation, though, however, that he's there, and if next year starts out shitty, you have a guy on a bench you can just go to right away?
No. For me, it's just no. If you're not making the move now, I don't know what you're waiting for. If anything, I expect the reverse to happen. I expect Sam Cassell to walk in there and just be like, oh my God, this moron has an NBA head coaching job, and somehow I haven't gotten one yet. I need to get the hell out of here and get a head coaching job. Joe, and the thing is that we're not going to see a change early in the year because the Celtics are too good. They're too good to fail enough for him to get fired in the regular season. Like, it's just the thing. Like, it's going to come down to another playoff run that's going to be busted. And frankly, you have the answer. We have the answer. And he apparently just doesn't want to do it. Brad Stevens was the answer. Brad Stevens fucked up by having – I can swear on this, right?
Yeah, you can swear. It's after 10. It's after 10 on the East Coast. You can swear.
Put the kids away. All right, because I'm very upset tonight. We have to talk about my Celtics. Brad Stevens fucked up by hiring Ime Udoka, okay? I love Ime. He was definitely the right coach. But the fact is he couldn't keep his dick dry, so he had to go.
I think it's more important where if he was more, we'll use the term professional off the court, I think the Celtics would have won the championship this year.
Oh, yeah. It's not even close. With Ime was the right coach. Ime was 100% the right coach. He turned the corner last year. We lost to a better Golden State team. I'm good with what happened last year. Last year didn't bother me. Golden State was a better team. The Heat are not a better team. Mazzulla had no clue what he was doing. But like I was saying, Brad Stevens, you hired Ime Udoka. Clearly didn't work out. That's your responsibility, your mistake. You are an exceptional head coach. Your ass needed to get down from that GM box, get back on the coaching bench, at least for 1 year so you can stabilize everything. The fact that Brad didn't do it is just it's a cardinal sin to me. It's something that I would consider firing Brad for. It's that bad.
Miz should be serving clam chowder outside the garden.
I don't want him touching my clam chowder. Yeah, he'd probably serve it cold.
Dip in at the wrong time. That is for sure. Now I'll give my Bucks a credit. I'm a Bucks and a Pistons fan. The one thing the Bucks did is when they hired AJ Griffin, did you see what they also did? They bought in the old Blazers coach, Terry Scotts.
Yeah.
So at least you have a veteran coach that can help out a rookie coach. And I really feel there was times in games, it just wasn't there. Like there was just simple fundamental things like not calling timeouts, stuff like that, lack of adjustments, not understanding momentum. When you have Marcus Smart saying, hey, he just lets us play through it. That's not it. You have to like manage momentum of a game. And that's what the good coaches can really do.
Dude, how many times in this playoff run did he stop the Celtics on a fast break? There was a point in Game 6 of the Heat series. We have a fast break. We have a 3-on-2 going the other way. I vividly remember it was Tatum with the ball, Brown on one wing, Smart on the other wing. Tatum's literally charging down from about midcourt, and right at midcourt, Bozo takes a timeout. I mean, the guy he's not good in any aspect of coaching. I mean, he's a moron from not using the guys on the bench. Peyton Pritchard, how is Peyton Pritchard not being used, by the way? He's a decent enough guard. Like, he should be out there somewhere. Grant Williams was MIA for parts of it. And I get it. Grant is Grant, but like, it might have helped at some point when we're getting our ass kicked.
There was an internal issue
between
between Mazzulla and Williams. There was like a little conflict right there. Williams is done too. He's not coming back. He's out. He's out the door, dude. That's another body you guys are gonna have to look to. I hate the Lakers chimes in. Brown to Pistons. It is happening.
No chance.
Brings us to, do they trade Jaylen Brown? 100%. I went on this website. I Googled search Jaylen Brown trade rumors. And I found this one hilarious. Now, I'm going to tell you the package. This guy at this website, it either is just right, not enough, or too much. His first trade idea: Celtics send off Jaylen Brown and Brogdon. Coming back, DeJounte Murray, John Collins, Cedric Bay, and Odokwa.
Nope.
Really?
Read me what the Celtics are giving up again.
Jaylen Brown and Brogdon.
No, absolutely not. There's one answer. There's one team that Jaylen Brown goes to. That's it.
What's that?
It's Portland. It's Portland, and it's for one of two things. If we give up Jaylen Brown for Damian Lillard, I'm not going to be over the moon about it, because in my head, Dame's got 2 to max 3 years left of being an elite player, right? And even now, the injuries are starting to creep up a little bit. I think Damian could be super successful in Boston. I'd be okay with that. But honestly, what I would do, trade Jaylen Brown, give me the 3 pick, give me another piece from Portland. I'm perfectly fine with that, dude. And then at that point, you start packaging up whatever other pieces that we got, whatever other draft picks they're willing to give us, and you take those and you send it over to for Bradley Beal. So then you got Beal, you got Tatum, and then you add what's his name? Scoot Henderson as the point guard. Because you can make it work financially, and at that point, if they're right about Scoot has a legit chance to be an elite point guard for years to come. Tatum is going to be here for years to come. Bradley Beal, we just need you not to suck and show up and maybe hit a shot when Jaylen couldn't. That's what we.
My thing is this is my counter to that. Scoot Henderson, 1 year in the G League, really young. We don't know what he's going to be. We really don't know what he's going to be. And my friend who works in the NBA, actually multiple friends have told me this that work in the league. This guy works out phenomenal, but I don't like what I'm seeing from him during the games. I had 2 separate guys whose opinion when it comes to scouting basketball I respect insanely, and they basically said the same thing word for word. So you really don't know what you're getting, and I know everyone puts Bradley Beal like up on this pedestal, but like, what really has he done?
I agree. I'm not overly high on Bradley Beal, but if you get that blend of talent, it's not about just talent anymore in the NBA. Like you have to have the guys that fit. Okay. Like the Celtics, perfect example. We are the most talented team in basketball. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't debate it. We are the most talented team in basketball. Unfortunately, Jalen and Tatum, it's been 6 years. These bozos can't figure it out together. One of them's got to go. It's Jalen. So what you do is
Jalen. Yeah.
And you know what? If we end up keeping Jalen, fine, whatever. Could be worse, dude. He's going to be a perennial all-star. It's not the end of the world, right? But with Jason Tatum being the way Jason Tatum is, he's continued to progress. His passing has gotten a lot better. He seems like he wants to win games, even if he makes those stupid turnovers and crucial points. But, like, you can see it. He wants it. He's starting to get pissed off of losing. We can't afford to lose Jason Tatum. So what you do, go get his buddy that loves to shoot threes, that'll fill a hole, and then go get a point guard. But the problem is with the point guard, like you said, you don't really know what you're going to get. At that point, it comes down to coaching. Unfortunately, if Missoula's here, forget about it. We're screwed.
See, I like this trade for the Celtics because you get DeJounte Murray, who can start at point guard, good defensively, good 3-and-D guy. You got John Collins.
What's our ceiling with that trade, though?
What?
What's our ceiling with that trade?
You got John Collins, who's a younger, more athletic Al Horford. Send him out. You got Odokwa, who can play the center position, who can guard wings when Robert Williams is too slow. And then you got Cedric Bay, who can shoot and is a good defender. I think this, if you get this right here, this gets you closer to the trade.
And we're giving up Smart, too?
No, just Brogdon, who's on an expiring contract, and Jaylen Brown.
No. I mean, we're not closer. That's just
the next one.
Step back. I like DeJounte Murray. He's perfectly fine. I mean, like you're getting a bunch of B players.
There's
nothing there. Whereas in my scenario, you get a potential. I'm not saying he's gonna be, but you got a potential A player in Scoot Henderson. Potential. A lot of people like him. Okay. Then you got Bradley Beal. Again, somebody that you know can at least show up and hit some shots and make things happen. And then you still got a lot of core players around. And you can start filling a few voids. And you keep Tatum happy. You have to keep Tatum happy. It's something that we haven't talked about. You have to keep this guy happy. We all assume he's signing the Supermax. Okay?
Yeah. Now,
you got to keep the guy happy.
The Supermax, you mentioned the Supermax. He gets more money if he signs a Supermax with the Celtics. And then if you sign the Supermax, you can't be traded for a year. We need to remember that with all this stuff we're talking about. This one. Now, like this one. Thunder get Jaylen Brown and Brogdon. Okay. Celtics get Dort, Josh Giddey, and Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a monster. Generally, I'm not a big fan of Kentucky or any of their fans because, like, not they don't tickle my twine. But SGA is a monster. I would take SGA, and that dude's kind of built for Boston.
Like, I mean, I'll be honest. If I'm the Thunder and Stevens calls and offers me this trade, I'm hanging up the phone, calling him back, and then hanging up the phone again just to show him how upset I would be at this trade. I think the Thunder would be idiots if they did this trade. I truly think they'd be idiotic if they did this trade.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if we're talking about genuinely the most valuable player, right, and not the MVP, who is truly the most valuable player to their team, it was SGA this year. Like, he was sensational. The Thunder are nowhere near a playoff spot without SGA. He was truly the most valuable player on any team. So, yeah, I would take him in a heartbeat, dude.
Now, this next one is unbelievable. And, again, let's see what you think. Straight up, Jaylen Brown for Garland in Cleveland.
Oh, how many years Garland got left before you got to sign him to a big deal?
3.
Yeah, I would do it.
See, again, like, I'm a huge Garland guy. I am a huge Garland guy. I don't know if I do it because, like, if I put my mindset in Cleveland, okay, Now I have Brown and Mitchell, and in my eyes, they're the same thing.
Yeah.
The same
Okay,
thing.
so you wouldn't do it from Cleveland's perspective. Would you do it from Boston's?
Oh yeah, like dude, if I
Yeah,
can do it, I do it in a heartbeat. Now, Cool Kev chimes in.
No way.
Brown to Golden State for Poole and Kuminga.
Less than no chance. Boston, I know that this was a Danny Ainge thing, but Brad learned from Danny. We don't lose trades. It doesn't happen. So, like, if we're going to make a trade, we're going to win it.
Have to throw in Wiggins.
Less than no chance.
See, I think Poole sucks. I mean, like, you and I did an NBA show last year, and I was all on the Poole fade trade. Made a lot of money doing it. I think Poole is one of the most overrated players in the whole NBA. Now, let's shift our attention over to the takeaways. Leo, what is your takeaway from the weekend? Excuse me.
From the weekend?
In general, what is your takeaway? Give me a takeaway, buddy. Give me a hot take.
A hot take from this weekend.
Whatever you want, man. Lay it on me, big dog.
I mean, it's really just time to blow. It's really, you know what? It's miserable to be a Boston sports fan. It's miserable. I don't know. Listen, that's not this week, but this is just, we've had so much good times here, but like, dude, it's hard. It's difficult. It's painful sometimes. Like, the way we lose is the most painful way possible. Every other sports city, like, just doesn't understand. We went into the playoffs this year. The Bruins were the best team in hockey by far. And of course, the Celtics. In the way that things just shaped up for the Celtics, they rip our soul out. They couldn't just do it with class and lose 4 straight and not tickle our balls at all. No. They have to go win 3 straight, become minus 400 favorites to get to the NBA Finals, and then shit the bed and get blown out by 20 on our home court. And then you got the Bruins up 3-1 in the series against a team that they should dismantle. And of course, we blow it. And it's a thing. Year after year after year, it is the most painful way possible. And at the end of by the time June comes around, we're just sitting here miserable watching the Red Sox, who are flat broke, by the way, and are apparently a small market team because we don't sign any more free agents. Being a Boston sports fan is not nearly as easy as people think it is. Like, sure, we make the playoffs an awful lot, but like, it really sucks. It's painful.
Okay. All right. You know what? You had a good run, though, and I'm not going to feel any pain because you've won so many goddamn championships in such a short time.
People say that, but how many should we have won?
But you won something, though. You know what I mean? Like,
no, dude, no, because you're dead wrong on this. Because I know you got Boston Boy 83 that loves coming on here and he talks NASCAR, but he's a massive Bruins fan. The Boston Bruins are a perfect example. Okay. The Bruins should have had 3 or 4 in the last 10 years, and somehow we have managed to just completely fuck that up and get 1 in the last 12.
But you know how many franchise would love to have 1 in the last 12?
Dude, no, it's a failure. It's a failure. Having 1 with the opportunity that they had is a failure. For the Celtics, only having 1 championship since 2008 is a catastrophic failure. A catastrophic.
I agree with that. I mean, they had the bar really set high when they had this little bit of a young run, obviously bringing in Kyrie, the whole thing with Isaiah Thomas and not re-signing him, made some players not want to go there, not trading Brown for KD. A lot of things going on there. Speaking of that, do you wish they would have traded Brown for KD?
No. Absolutely.
Now, this is my takeaway. And this is old Uncle Rico learning session. Sports are game to game, week to week. Think about after game 1, everyone crowned the Denver Nuggets as the NBA champions. And what happened in game 2? They didn't cover and they straight up lost. Caleb Martin, after game 7, had a lights out game. Everyone's saying he's a new Jimmy Butler. He's going to be running the show more. He's going to be Butler's 2. I told everyone last week the best free 2 to take was him to average under 15.4 points per game in this finals. He scored 6 so far. Max Strus, 0 for 9. Told everyone to take their over. hit easily. It's week to week. Stuff changes. You have to be able to sit back if you want to be a good sports bettor and look at the big picture, not just the last thing that happened. And I guess that's like my big takeaway is I have a lot of people message me all the time. What can I do to become better? That's it. Just take a step back, play week to week. No, seriously, that's it. Play week to week and look at the whole picture. You can't say, well, they just won, so they're going to win again. That's not how it works. You know, you have to understand what happened and then, you know, move on and go from there. Interesting question.
As far as getting better, I just want to touch on that real quick. As far as getting better as a sports bettor, it's fairly simple, right? Like somebody's already doing all the work for you, so just hop on either the Action app or Sharps. Hop on the Sharps, all right? Follow Uncle Rico on there. You get all of his picks on there. Just follow him. Just continue to tail him. Eventually, you'll come out on top. There's some days, in all seriousness, I'm completely bored with my life, and I'm just like, oh, time to hop on Sharps. Time to find Uncle Rico. Is he on anything? Oh, good. He's betting this. I have a tickle now. And I'll literally just tail it. And you know what, dude? I win more doing that than I do making my own bets sometimes.
Well, dude, I'm glad I made you some money. And the one bet today, the Mariners are up a quick 1-0 in the third inning, dude. Mariners are up a quick 1-0 third. Interesting question in the chat. Do the Heat making the finals change the way teams play in the regular season?
I don't think so. I think teams are just so set in their way until like something's like a transcendent moment. Like they just continue to do what they do and they follow their own philosophies. And like every team kind of just does their own thing in the regular season. Like the Clippers like to sit everybody in the regular season. Boston likes playing everybody in the regular season. It's just kind of a philosophical thing. It depends on what organization it is.
Now, we have reached everyone's favorite part, the betting part. Leo has 3 bets. I have 3 bets. Leo is the guest. I will let you kick off. Bet number 1. We're going to the pond, aren't we?
Yeah, baby. You know what we're doing. I love the Panthers in game 3. Watching the way game 2 transpired, they lost the game 7-2. They got their ass handed to them. Bobrovsky got pulled, but that team showed some fight. They decked around Vegas the entire night. They were hitting them. That hit on Eichel from Matthew Tkachuk, that's something that you want to see from a captain. He came out and said, yeah, that's great. We're not going to just sit here and lay down. They continue to fight back. They scored a couple goals in the third period, got a little bit of momentum. It is now a must-win game in game 3. The way that team has played for as resilient as they have been in this postseason, this is a no-brainer, especially at minus 120.
Dude, I like that. I'm actually going to hop on that one myself. Next one here. I got this at openers. I played the Nuggets minus -2. I play it all the way up to -3. Let me just say what happened. Heat shot 49% from 3, making 17 of them. One of their best shooting days from the playoffs. I'm not talking about regular season. I'm just talking about playoffs. Gabe Vincent, career game. Bam Adebayo, one of his best playoff games ever, what he did on the offensive and defensive end. Max Strus making 4 3-pointers. Duncan Robinson putting the team on his back. Duncan effing Robinson in the fourth quarter scoring 8 points. Flip side, Michael Porter, worst game playoffs ever. Same with KCP. Same with Jamal Murray. And Denver had a chance to tie at the end of the game. I mean, like, when you just kind of say it like that, Denver should have won that game. They're up double digits. You know, yeah. I'm looking at shot quality. And for those, if you're betting basketball, not using shot quality, I don't understand how you can't do it. Denver won the game 105-98. I'm expecting some positive shot regression. I'm expecting Gabe Vincent to come back down to earth and not have such a big game. Plus, also, let's look at the mental aspect. Miami's a fun place, right?
Yep.
Hypothetically, let's say you lived in Miami and you went away like for about 10 days, okay? You went up to Boston, played a game in Boston, stayed in Denver, went out to Denver, played a couple games in Denver. Now, 10 days later, you're coming back to South Beach. Mentally, that's going to mess with you. You know what I mean? Just because you're going to go out, you're going to have some fun, you're back home after a long trip. I love fading teams in these spots. I'm going to take the Nuggets minus the 2. Also, I expect them to do something with Joker. I really don't know if that means having him play up top, and when they go to that zone, have Murray play in the middle and let him kind of isolate. That way it gets people involved. But yeah, I like the Nuggets here. I like them to bounce back. I'll play them up anything 3 or less.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think Denver's going to take care of business. Both games in Miami, I think they wrap it up in 5, honestly. This team's just so much better. Also, I want your opinion on this. Since when can NBA teams beat a 2-3 zone? Since when?
But here's the thing. They never practice it. They never practice against it. And I mean, it's – how can I word this? The dunker position is kind of not there, and it's just they're more athletic closing the gap. And if you're missing threes like Michael Porter, and I'm going to mention this insane Michael Porter stat later, if you're not hitting threes, there's not much you can do, and they missed a ton of threes. I mean, Porter, Murray, KCP, all 3 of those guys are due for positive shooting regression. And when you just think about it, they were playing like dog shit, and they were up 10. And then Duncan Robinson went on a tear. So I don't know. I'm expecting it. I know Miami's coming back to the house, but I'll play the Nuggets here minus the 2 all the way up to minus 3. Leo, what is your next bet, my friend?
You already know it, baby. It is going to be my guy, Alexander Zverev, tomorrow to win in straight sets. Okay, you can get that at plus 150 right now at BetMGM. I love Sasha Zverev. I have been all over him this entire French Open. I believe I texted you, sir, before the French Open started.
You did.
Did you follow me?
I put a little wager on it, my friend. I put a little wager.
Baby. We got him. We got him at 25-1 to win the French. The draw is just so open for him right now. You can still get him at 10-1, which is tremendous odds. I'll be shocked if he's not in the final. But as for tomorrow, he's playing Thomas Echeverry. Echeverry has been very good. He's a good clay quarter, big forehand. He's very good at holding serve on clay, which is something that a lot of clay quarters aren't good at. But Zverev is returning at a ridiculous level. And as long as he's avoiding the double faults, he has the best serve in all of tennis, in my opinion, including Nick Kyrgios. Zverev is crushing the ball off both wings. He's only lost 1 set this entire tournament. And I know that Echeverry hasn't lost one, but if you look at who he played Jack Draper that was injured. He couldn't get through a full match. Alex de Minaur, never been good on clay. It's never been his thing. Then he beat Borna George, who was clearly hampered. He could barely move around. And then he beats Nishioka, who just completely fell apart physically after the first set. He's basically had a bye at this point. He hasn't had a tough match. I'm fully expecting Zverev to just dismantle him. And as for the semifinals, whoever Zverev gets, whether it's Rune or Casper Ruud, the way Zverev is playing right now, he's heading to the finals. So at that point, you're going to get 10-1. And if it's Djokovic, I might have Zverev as a favorite in that. So make sure you hammer that future.
And here's another thing. Let's just kind of talk this out. So we got Alcaraz and Joker on the top half of the draw. That's probably going to be a physical match. What are we talking? 3.5, 4.5 hours. Yeah. And then you have to turn around and you have to play Zverev, who's could be fresher. And I'm not saying like he's going to boat race his semifinal match if he gets it there, but chances are he's going to have a less physical match with the style of play he has.
Yeah. And here's the thing, right? Because it's not just that he's having a less physical match. If it is a physical match, it's because he's the one that's dictating. Because he's so big off both wings, he'll do whatever the hell he wants. He will dictate the play. And the other person's going to have to do all the running. So I love Zverev, dude. It's so good to see him back. And, like, he slipped a couple times, and I'm sure a lot of tennis people remember the horrific injury that he had against Rafa last year at Roland Garros. So seeing him slip and being okay, like, yeah, there you go, baby. Let's make some money. Yeah.
So I like it, dude. You know, hopefully I am the win it. So hopefully you can get it done. My next one, staying in the association, and I am playing my favorite thing to play in the world, regression. I'm going Gabe Vincent under 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Coming off a career day in the NBA Finals, I am betting on him to come back to earth. And also, the thing about the finals is this, is Malone's a smart SOB. I mean, the coaching pedigree on that bench is insane. He's going to sit back and they're going to be like, guys, look, dude, we need to take Gabe Vincent around. We need to take him out. It's one thing to score when other teams are just like, yeah, whatever, just do your thing. You know, we really don't care. But when a team has a game plan to physically stop you from scoring, it is a whole other thing. He's not getting the assist because he's out on the wing chasing around Murray. And then with the assists, he's not a playmaker. He's a spot-up shooter. The offense runs through Butler and Bam. I like this under 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Mr. Gabe Vincent. Now, Leo, third and final bet. Where are we going, my friend?
Third and final, baby. We're staying in the French Open. I have to tell you, this is one that there's no great reasoning behind it other than the fact that the price is so big. It is so big. It is so huge. Coco is playing against Iga Swiatek, and Iga is just a monster. I mean, the girl is a machine. There is no real weakness to her game. She's only dropped one game in her last 4 sets of tennis, which is an insane stat at the Grand Slam level. That being said, Coco also has never gotten a set off her. Another downside. The nice side is the fact that Coco's actually playing out of her mind. This is the best I've seen Coco play. Usually her forehand is the one that will break down at points. It has not broken down at any point so far in this French Open. She's lost a couple sets. She lost one to Masarova. That was more of just she needed to kind of get going that first set that she lost. But once she did, she rolled. She lost another set to Andreeva, and Andreeva was absolutely brilliant. But listen, man, the two things you have to worry about with Coco, number one is the forehand going to break down. Number two, her double fault's going to be a problem. Double faults have not been a huge problem so far. She had a couple in her last match, but she got through them. She went bigger on her second serve, and it actually worked out. Everything I've seen from Coco, she just, I don't know, you get that different vibe from her. And she hasn't been able to conquer a top 10 player in a little bit. It just feels like everybody's all over Iga, and the price is just, it's absolute madness. I mean, Coco Gauff is plus 700. Clay is Coco's best service, and she's the number 6 player in the world. Like there's not that much of a gap, dude. But getting her plus 1.5 sets, that's a juicy price. That's a nice looking price.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'll definitely be looking to get on that one. She's a tough player. She competes hard, and she's a good front runner too. So if she can get that early lead, put some scoreboard pressure on, I expect her to roll. Next one. I'm either going to be a genius or I'm going to be an effing moron. Michael Porter Jr. over 2.5 threes. Now, I mentioned how I like to do shot regression, positive shot, negative shot regression.
Yep.
We've seen history in this NBA Finals through 2 games. I don't think anyone knows it. Are you ready for the historic stat we've seen?
Ball me.
Michael Porter Jr. has set a record for the worst 3-point shooting percentage through 2 games of an NBA playoffs with a minimum of 15 attempts. And this is for a 41% 3-point shooter who's getting open looks. He is due percentage rise for positive shot regression. He shoots 42% on the road this year compared to 40% at home. So he does shoot better on the road. That's one thing going for him. Also, every time Malone has called him out, he responds. I expect him to respond more. I think he's going to get some open looks, and I'm going to play for him to go over this total. I absolutely love it at 2.5. And if I could ladder it, I probably will. I'll play him that he gets to get 4, a little sprinkle on 5. And also, if you really want to get juicy, you know what NBA teams do? They like to get players that are struggling. They like to get them going. Michael Porter Jr. First basket. 10-1. Small little bet on that. You can roll that one out.
Here's my question. Are you betting the exact method, or are you betting him by 3? Or are you just going to take him first basket?
I'm going to take him just first basket.
You know what?
So.
You actually got me excited about this. So I actually have a bet that I'm going to lock in as we're on this show. Just give me a second here because I'm gonna find it on MGM. I'm gonna take Michael Porter to hit the first 3-pointer in the game, and we're gonna get that at plus 550 thanks to BetMGM. I like it.
I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot, my friend. Leo, why do you tell everyone about your podcast that you do when it comes out and what you cover and everything?
Yeah, check out the Touchline Band podcast. It's me and it's Brian from Fade My Play. We sit there, we argue. We're two fans of the Manchester team. So it's Manchester City, who's winning everything right now, Manchester United, who's weeping because their owners suck. And we just go at it the entire time. We talk about everything in the football world. I mean, it's the most exciting time. We have the Champions League final on Saturday, history on the line Saturday. Manchester City can be the second team ever to win the treble in England. It would be a massive deal. But so many things are happening right now in the soccer world, with the Saudi Arabians just coming in and spending hundreds of millions of dollars by the day to go get world-class players. We're going to go over that. We talk about just about everything. So make sure you guys follow us. The Touchline Band podcast. It's Apple, it's Spotify, and follow me on Twitter. The handle is right at the Gutsy Greek. Make sure you guys give me a follow.
Make sure you give my boy Leo a follow. Also, my soccer play, draw at half, no goal first half. Don't even know what it is, but that's what I'm doing. Leo, great to have you on again. Look forward to having you on again in the future. Let's make some money. Let's cash some tickets. Until next week, boys and girls.